You might have noticed a few people knocking on doors recently with tote bags and clipboards. Well, census takers are making their rounds, and we're told they are keeping safety in mind. Our Sydney stalwart spoke with city officials to see what you can expect if you get a knock on your door.
Census takers are on the move despite the pandemic, and they're still out collecting your information if you haven't filled out your census yet, just with a few changes this year to stay safe.
They will be following social distancing guidelines, ensuring that they should all be wearing masks, and they will also maintain a 6-foot distance. They do not need to come into your home to answer these questions. You can answer through a door or however you want to do it.
Some might be nervous as census takers make their rounds to do in-person interviews during the coronavirus pandemic. James Vandiver with the city of Huntsville tells me if you'd like to avoid an in-person interview, you can still fill out the census yourself.
If you do it online, you can print off a confirmation and show that to the census worker to make sure they know that they have that you've responded to the census.
With Huntsville expected to become Alabama's largest city in just a few years, he says we need the most accurate count we can get
to make sure that they get that political representation correct, as well as that federal funding allocated to the right place.
We did discuss the possibility of scammers showing up to your door or others looking to take advantage of this opportunity to get your information. Here's what you should keep an eye out for to make sure the census taker is the real deal.
Any census enumerator coming to your door will have an official census ID. They will be wearing some sort of census gear, so it should be very easily identifiable that they are a census taker. They're not going to ask about financial information such as bank accounts, credit card numbers, social security numbers. They will not inquire about the immigration status of anyone living in the household.
You might be seeing census takers around for a while. They're expected to be in the area until the end of September. Putting the Valley first, Sydney Stalwart, WZDX News.